In this lesson of eye retouching, I'm going to first create an iris ring. I'm going to click on the iris ring layer that was created in my eye retouching action that we ran earlier. If you don't know what I'm talking about, go back to the very first lesson for eye retouching about how to use the action that creates all these layers we're working on. Okay, iris ring layer. So I'm going to click here on the pixel part of the layer to make sure that we're working with the actual pixels and not the mask. And I've created, I'll click on the brush tool. I've created for you to use all these kind of fun brushes. Here we go. Iris ring. Now, iris ring, isn't that a soap? No, sorry. That's Irish Spring. I get confused easily. So anyways, here's my iris ring brushes. And let's click on the smaller one because this is actually a fairly low-res image that we're using. Click on the iris ring 50 pixels. Now I'm going to actually stamp this brush over here to the side here, actually on her skin, so you can see what it's doing a little bit better. So click, boom, click that. And what I've done with these brushes, with these iris ring brushes, is I've created a dark edge. There, let me use the move tool so I got a nice arrow. So I've created a brush that gives you this nice dark edge, and then it gradates in towards the center. So it kind of helps to round the eye, give it a little more 3D effect to make the eye actually look more round in your 2D image. And obviously this iris ring is too big, and we're going to bring it over here using the move tool to just place it over her natural iris. And I'm going to use free transform to make it the right size. So I'm just going to use a keyboard shortcut, Command T, or if you're on the PC, Control T. And I'm going to hold down the Shift key so that it keeps this iris ring, not Irish Spring, iris ring, a perfect circle. So here. So I am just going over so that this ring completely covers just the outside edge of her eye, of her iris. So let me double click to accept that transformation. Let's move this a little bit. So here, I'll move this back over here so you can see that's the ring, that's the iris ring. Move this back over here. And obviously the ring is going over her eyelid here a little bit. So we're going to use the mask part of the layer, the iris ring layer. Click over here in layers, click on the mask. And we're going to use a brush to paint with. We don't want it to be the iris ring brush. We'll pick a normal Photoshop brush. Normal Photoshop brush for that. Just a nice soft round brush. And I'm going to paint with black. Again, over here on the iris ring layer, on the mask, I'm going to paint with black. Go down here, switch my foreground background color so I have black in the foreground, and just paint any place that ring spilled over where it shouldn't be. Now, this works perfectly because she's looking straight into the camera, but obviously if her head were turned, her iris would not be perfectly round. So just to show you, when I free transformed it before, I could have also, let me bring up the free transform box. Again, Command T or Control T if you're on a PC. I could actually just change the shape of the iris ring and make it more narrow. If her head were turned a little bit to the side, I could actually just alter the shape of it so I could make it fit around her natural iris. But obviously, she's looking straight on. Her eye is perfectly round, and I don't want to do that. So click on Escape. And so now we have that iris ring. Here, I'll turn it off for you to look at and see how it just makes a nice little delineation. You know, actually, now that I'm looking at it, It's not quite perfectly over her iris. Let me click on the move tool, slide that over. Not sure how I did that, but it's lined up now. Okay, next thing we're going to do is create a new catch light in her eye. As you remember at the very beginning, if you were doing the first lessons, eye retouching lessons, I removed her natural catch light because I wanted to make a better, more vivid one in Photoshop. So I'm going to go up here to the Create Catch Light layer, click on that, click on the pixel part of it, and again, under my paintbrushes, I've actually created for you all of these kind of fun catch light brushes that you can use. Let me get down here. And I've got all kinds that you could play around with. I've got different kind of window panes. This is an 8-pane window that you could use. 6-pane window. I have a window that has an arch to it. I even have, let's see, further down. If your model were being lighted just like by open sky, really soft light, I have sky catch light that you can use. Some of these square catch lights down here are to imitate either a window or a softbox. It's kind of funny when people see that square catch light in people's eyes, they always say it's a softbox. But the reality is softboxes were made square so that they would imitate windows to produce a window quality of light. So when you look at the catch light and you see that square, it's supposed to look like a window, but now everybody assumes it's a softbox. So anyway, this is not the catch light we're really going to use for this eye, but I just want to show you some of these others here. Here's some of these other catch lights. Brushes that I've created here real quick. And here, let me just show you this one here. The catch light window 4-pane. It says it's 30 pixels. It's the left side. Just click over here. Oh, nobody wants a black catch light. Let's undo that. Let me go down here. The catch light needs to be white, so let's make sure that my foreground is set to white. And I'm going to stamp this, and it's on its own layer, Create Catch Light. I'm going to stamp this right here. And it's going to be obviously too big at the moment. What I can do is go up here to on the option palette, on the option bar, and bring up under the brush drop down arrow right here. I could actually just lower the diameter a little bit down to, let's take it down to 20 pixels. I don't want to take it down too far because I want to have the option of adjusting it with free transform. So here we go. I'm going to click right here, make a stamp. So there I have that window catch light. Again, it's still obviously too big. I'm just going to do Command T on the PC, Control T to bring up free transform. And I'm going to make this catch light smaller and more believable in size. Okay, double click. Click on the move tool. And as I back out, you'll see that this looks a little more natural. So see, if we were going to use a window light as our light source, it creates a nice little 4-pane window catch light in her eye for you to use. And again, this is just one of the brushes that I've created for you that you can use. You can play around with all those catch light brushes to see which one you like the best. But for now, that doesn't really quite work with this image because that's not how I did the lighting. Get rid of the window catch light and use a more natural looking catch light. So let me zoom back in here so I can see what I'm doing a little bit better. And click on my brush. Okay, I'm actually just going to use a round catch light. You could just use one of Photoshop's round brushes. I've actually created some brushes that have the hardness set for you. You can see as I click on this DC's Eye Retouch Catch Light Round 20 pixels, it set the hardness to 92%. Just drop down that hardness a little bit just to make it look a little bit more natural. So let's go here, and obviously I need to make this brush smaller. So just going to use my bracket keys, using my left bracket key. I'm just making this brush a little bit smaller. And really, my light was pretty much directly overhead. So I'm just going to stamp it right here. Stamp my catch light right there. Now, obviously, my catch light is spilling over onto her eyelash there. So we need to get rid of that. That's easy to do. Over here, back in the Create Catch Light layer, let's click on the mask part. And down here, make sure that we're going to be painting with black. And let's make the brush just a little bit smaller. And I'm just going to get rid of any place that the catch light went over her eyelash, just like that. That looks good. Okay, so we've created the iris ring, and we've created a catch light. And next we're going to move on to creating the moon. And the moon is the one thing that I get so many people sending me emails and asking me questions. They don't know what that means. Well, I'm going to show you.